Hi. No. Why is the introduction always so awkward? Why are you always so awkward? I mean, I'm an awkward human. There's nothing wrong with that. Hello. um, I'm sorry that I sound a little phlegmy today, but I got sick this week and I'm just starting to come out of it, so it's still lingering. The location's a little different today. This was not the initial plan, but here we are. It's okay. I am proud of myself for coming up with being okay with having a less than ideal situation and just sticking to a promise. Like, no matter what shape or form it ends up looking like, yeah, I'm proud of myself for that. This week was really cool because it literally explained everything I've been struggling with for the past 2 weeks. In which I thought I had to extend week 8 to feel a bit more like what the chapter was talking about. In fact, no, I was already past that point and ready for what week 9 had to teach me. So it's okay. You live and you learn. My face is really... No. You are beautiful no matter what they say. No matter what you say. Today's plan was to check out some print shops because I am looking to make prints of the art I've been making for Peachtober, which is really wild. It's so cool, like the fact that so many of you have reached out to me and like, I guess, I don't even know if you're watching me actually, but so many of the people who follow me on Instagram have reached out and are really excited about having prints, and so here we are. And because I'm in France and I don't know where to go for anything just yet, today was kind of like supposed to be the discovery element. Discovery element? No. I was supposed to figure that out today. But we both woke up way too late and things were closing. So we decided that we will catch them in the afternoon portion of their work hours. What am I saying? And anyway, so the places that we went to, they showed me a bunch of paper which I wasn't very excited about, but at the same time, at the end of the conversation, when I was like, okay, I'm willing to test these out to see if it gives the effect that I'm looking for, the very nice lady at the store was like, oh yeah, but our really high quality printer isn't working. And I was like, oh, okay. So we tried another place and they had just closed just as we got there. So the hunt for a print shop continues tomorrow and the day after. Hopefully we'll find something something I like, something I'm excited about. I'm really nervous about this, and it brings me into the conversation for this week. I'm really nervous about this whole making prints thing, and I think it brings me into... So is everyone leaving work right now? Anybody else? No? I can wait. So the subject, I mean, there's a lot of different like mini subjects that this week's talking about, but like the main overall topic is to regain a sense of compassion for yourself as an artist. And what that includes is recognizing and expressing accurately what is happening with you. And saying things like you're lazy because you're not doing the work, or you're procrastinating because you're not doing the work, is unfair to you as a person, to me as a person. And the past couple of weeks I've been doing that, and because my productivity, like week 7 was like this huge big boom for me, and I was really riding that high. And then the week after that, things got really weird, and I started to feel very uncomfortable and was doubting my creative output, was doubting the work I was doing, was doubting this journey of trying to connect. Like, is this even something I want to do? Like, am I really an artist? Am I really supposed to be doing this? Like, this is like, this can't be real, right? And I thought that I thought that because there were also a couple of things happening in my personal life that I was dealing with at the time, I thought that maybe I wasn't present enough with my I wasn't present enough with my work. But that's not the case, because here I learned that I was being extremely hard on myself. And when you're a blocked artist or a blocked creative, you spend a lot of energy on things that are not visible, on self-hate and self-doubt and jealousy and grief and anger and hatred and just like things that are just not nice. And I didn't realize that I was doing that to myself. Despite the fact that what happened in my personal life, in my personal relationships, I got really scared. I got really scared because the art that I was putting out was actually doing really well. Like, people really liked it, and I was not expecting that. Like, I had no expectations whatsoever with doing this Peachtober challenge, with sharing my art, actually. And when I started getting responses from people, it was really incredible. Like, I honestly wasn't expecting that kind of a reaction from people. And not just that, but the fact that they really wanted these pieces as prints that they could hang up in their homes, in their environments. And I went into what she calls the creative U-turn, where something good actually happens. You succeed at something and you immediately self-sabotage yourself, because in order to be because a happy artist is a creative artist, a happy artist is a healthy artist. And if you are someone who is so used to being in an unhealthy environment with yourself, then changing that is really scary. And committing to being healthy and happy as an artist is really scary. And I didn't realize that's what had happened. And what's really interesting is I have this memory come up of another instance where I did that to myself. And it's so crazy, because a couple of years ago, was it 2019 or 2018? I can't remember. I will double check. But I co-curated an art exhibition with a photographer friend of mine, Riley Sharji, shout out, man. And it actually ended up being incredible. And like, the people that we were working with, all the artists that took part, everyone that was involved was just fantastic. Like, I don't think we could have done it without them. But the fact that it did so well, like it was received so well, like everybody loved what we did, and I participated both as a curator and an artist, and in both roles I had performed really well. I immediately went into self-sabotage after that. Like, now that I know that that's a thing, now that a creative U-turn is something that I know happens for an artist that is blocked, that is attempting to do something or that does something and then it actually works out. That's so weird, right? You'd think that if it works out, you'd be like riding the high, super excited, like wanting to keep going. No, that is not what happened. I definitely self-sabotaged the past couple of weeks, but this week, despite being sick, I think it was hard for me to get back on track, but it is exactly that, right? If just like your mental health or your physical health, if you get sick or if you have an injury, you commit to getting better one step at a time. And I think it's I think it's really interesting that I actually got sick while I was trying to understand this, because I already know what I need to do when I have a cold or the flu, or if I'm not feeling well or something like that. I know that I need to rest, and I know that I need to I need to drink my hot drinks, and I need to eat nourishing foods, and I need to sleep more and sleep better. So I've been doing those things to get myself back healthy physically wise. That's not a way. That's not how you say it. To get healthy physically. But it's also kind of showing me that I need to do the same thing and have the same compassion when it comes to my art as well. Because I was being really mean and really hurtful, and so much self-doubt and so much self-hatred. And I think it still ties in with what was going on with me personally, because a really good friend of mine had pointed out to me something that I didn't want to admit to myself that I was doing. And the fact that she was honest with me about that, I love her so much for it, because it's not easy to be that honest with your friends, to tell them that, you know, they fucked up or they're not showing up. And I didn't want to believe that what she said was true, because, you know, we always want to think the best about ourselves, even though we talk shit about ourselves. What is that? I don't know. What is this paradox? But it's true. I have a very hard time keeping promises. That's why doing this in the car, even though the environment isn't exactly what I wanted it to be, is really a big deal to me, because I don't keep promises to myself, and therefore I don't keep promises to the people that I care about or the people that are around me. Not because I don't want to. That's a lot of, like, that's other things that I need to address for me personally, but I feel like it ties into this, because the artist date is a little promise that you keep to yourself, that you're going to do something for you that you enjoy, that brings you happiness, that inspires your inner child, your inner artist. And I have not been doing those things. Like, I've found a way to make it feel like justifiable in a way, where it's like I'm doing something that I have to be doing. Like, doing something that is productive, not just purely fun, and or just not doing it at all, because I haven't found this productive thing that I could mix in with this thing that I want to do for fun. So that's definitely something that I need to work on. And when it comes to like all the visualization exercises in this book, I have not been able to do them. I'm scared to imagine what this life that I want to live, and to visualize it, and to try to build it, because I don't know if I can handle having it taken away from me, or I don't know. That's kind of, I don't know if that's lame, because you really don't know. Okay. You really don't know what can happen in life. Like, you could be alive today and dead tomorrow. Like, you really don't know. So on that note, like, why waste time being scared, right? I know this like intellectually, but I don't think I know what I want. I think I've denied myself for so long that I'm not even sure. And when you give up what you want for other people's comfort and other people's happiness, you get to a point where you don't trust your own judgment. You don't trust your own opinion. You don't trust your own wants and needs. Like, do I really want that? Do I really need that? The example of that is the other day I really wanted to go and people watch. That's something I enjoy doing, like just going to like center of a town or like an area where there's a lot of activity and just sit down with a coffee and a book or a sketchbook and just like spend time on my own and kind of watching people. And because of where I am right now, and the fact that I don't have a car and I cannot drive the cars that are available because I'm not insured, or the insurance won't cover me, I have to ask other people to take me to places like that. And because we're so far out from all the towns, it takes a while, and it just feels really bad. I feel really bad for wanting to for asking them to do that for me and then asking them to leave. And so I always want them to be as excited as I am to do the thing that I want to do, so that I don't feel guilty that they have to do this with me, that they have to do this with me. And then it was like, you know what, never mind, it's okay. We can do something else. We can do what you want. So I'm still learning how to stand up for what I want and what I believe. And this week's task, one of this week's tasks, was to reread our morning pages. I was excited for this one. I was really excited for this one. And then I started reading my pages and I was like, oh my God. And it's not because of the negativity. Honestly, there wasn't that much of it, surprisingly. I felt like I was... that it would come out, but then I would talk to myself in a very loving way, like, it's okay, and kind of explain to myself, like, as if I was talking to a child. So that was interesting to see, but there are certain things that really, I would say, upset me. And it's, again, proof of this not keeping promises to myself. A lot of things that I write down, like, I want to do this, or I want to talk to this person, or I want to send this thing, or I want to, just like whatever, I want to do something that I just don't do. And I talk about this day after day, week after week. It's the same thing that I want to do that I'm not letting myself do, and I don't understand why. I don't understand why. I don't understand why. So I haven't even read all of my pages yet. Like I started in the front and I was like really excited because I wanted to see like the progress I've made and how my brain is now thinking differently. And then I was like, I don't want to read anymore. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna start in the back. Anyway, I am looking forward to week 10. I thought I was gonna extend week 9 another week, but I don't think so. I think I'm gonna move on to week 10 and I'm gonna see where it takes me. Anyway, thanks for tuning in this week. Hopefully I see you next week. Bye. My lens is clean this time, right? Let me just double make sure, because that was lame. My face is really... No. You are beautiful no matter what they say. No matter what you say.